Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Third installment of Scott Selections here for Thursday, November 17th. For again today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a pretty mediocre day, starting off with the play from a couple days ago. Gave out a tennis play. We had Djokovic in straight sets against Rublev at minus 105 on FanDuel. Never in doubt, Djokovic won 6-4, 6-1, and he took care of business easily. However, did lose the play today yesterday with LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists at minus 135 on DraftKings. He was on pace at halftime. He had four, and then he did basically nothing for the entire second half in terms of assists. Finished with six, and he had a lot of opportunities to pick up more. A lot of teammates missed some wide open three-pointers, and Charlotte offensively was decent throughout the entire game, but LaMelo just didn't get his teammates involved enough. Had a good scoring game. That didn't help us out, so picked up a mediocre day splitting, and we lost, I believe, zero point zero 0.05 units. So basically broke even. Look for a winning day here on Thursday. And for today's play today, going to pivot to the NFL. We'll get a matchup between the Titans and the Packers for Thursday Night Football, taking place at around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, going to go to a player prop in this one. We're going to go to Green Bay wide receiver Allen Lazard. We're going to take him over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 120 on BetMGM. Time recording of 1:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Cover reasons why I like the over here for Lazard. First reason, he has had at least 55 receiving yards in 3 of the last 4 games. And Tennessee has one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So I do think that the Packers might have some success through the air in this game. Tennessee's allowing 272.6 passing yards per game, which is the second most in the league. Plus, Tennessee will be a bit shorthanded on the defensive side of the ball. Linebacker Bud Dupree, cornerback Caleb Farley, cornerback Lonnie Johnson, and safety Amani Hooker, starting safety Amani Hooker, are all already out for this game. So Tennessee's pass defense was awful to begin with. Now one of its best pass rushers is out. 2 of its corners and its starting safety are out. I do think Rodgers should be able to find a lot of openings in this defense, and Lazard is easily Rodgers' favorite target. I know Watson went nuts last week, and he had a big game. Big reason was also because of the fact that Diggs was following Lazard all over the field, and Diggs is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. Tennessee doesn't really have any good corners, and I do think that you'll end up seeing Lazard have a good game as a result. Plus, you might see the defense overreact to what happened against the Cowboys and end up looking a little bit too closely into stopping Watson, which could result in Lazard having a lot of one-on-one coverage, which he can exploit. But Tennessee's also really good against the run, which might be a bit of an issue for Green Bay's overall offense. We saw they ran the ball down Dallas's throat last week, but Tennessee is only allowing 3.9 yards per carry, which ranks third in the league. So I do think that Tennessee might be able to force Green Bay into throwing the ball more than they would typically like to, and with extra volume, might come extra targets for Lazard in this game. And most importantly, how often was Lazard on the field? The answer is a lot, because last week against Dallas, despite having a relatively quiet stat line before the big catch in overtime, he played in 98% of the offensive snaps. He's on the field basically every play, which tells you how important he truly is to this offense. And I think at the end of the day, you're looking at a spot where you have the number one receiver with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. I know he's had a down year, but you're against one of the worst secondaries in the league and one of the worst pass defenses in the league. And they're also shorthanded, missing a couple of secondary pieces and one of their better defensive linemen. I do think Tennessee should really struggle to cover Lazard in this game. You don't need a lot of yards in this one. You need, once again, 47 to go over. And a big reason why the number might be low is because of the wind. It's supposed to be about 15 miles per hour. It's going to be cold in Green Bay. But Rodgers is used to it. He's been in Green Bay for over 10 years, and I do think that he'll find a way to get Lazard heavily involved. Maybe a deep pass, maybe a couple of slants, maybe he breaks one like he did in overtime against Dallas. But 46.5 for the number one wide receiver against the defense, giving up the second most passing yards per game, seems like a steal, and I'm going to take the over. So play that once again here for Thursday, November 17th, is going to be on Allen Lazard over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 120 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.